Driver IC changing practice. In this section, you are going to study different practices for changing driver IC. Basically, here you will come to know about display driver IC, significance, components attached with it, and its use in mobile functioning. A display driver IC is an integrated circuit designed to control the display subsystem in mobile phones, desktop and laptop computers. Let us study in detail. We start with understanding this term first. Driver IC are integral component of the LCD. They are mounted on the edges of the module and they control the subpixels by switching rows and columns on or off. They are most commonly supplied in two types of packages: TCP, that is tape carrier package, and COF, that is chip on film. They perform function of regulating current flowing through a circuit, or it is used to control the other factors such as component sub devices in the circuit. Now, what are the significance of these driver IC? They are used to control the display subsystem in mobile phones. They play an important role as advanced integrated circuit are the microprocessor which control everything from mobile phone. They consume less electric power and have high speed. Our objective is to get technique of driver IC changing in a mobile phone. For this purpose, let us have a look on components which are utilized during practicing. These parts are display, touch panel controller, and MOSFET driver IC. Let us study them individually. Mobile phone is essentially made of several layers need to be carefully detached in order for the glass display to be replaced. Now, how to change the display of mobile phone? Firstly, remove the rear cover, battery, and identify where the standard screw might be hidden. They could be under labels or beside USB ports. Pulling the phone apart is usually achieved using the levers and the plectrum, while additional screws are likely to be found and these will typically need removing. Now look for ribbon cables which require carefully detached from their connectors and often are threaded through the different layers of hardware within the phone. Now let us identify the digitizer which will slot out once its ribbon cable removed. Now you should have the front of the phone in your hand, empty with the glass display and ready to remove. After this, the adhesive should be applied initially to the phone frame rather than the glass. Once the adhesive is in place, the new glass display is prepared. Remove the protective strips on the adhesive and push the glass into the place. Now, connect the relevant cables back into their slots, locking them down and putting the phone back together, layer by layer. With the components ready to push back into the case, carefully place them into the position and check that there are no screws left over and fix them into place. Testing the phone once you are done to check that all functionality is retained. You should be able to switch the phone on without securing the final screws in order to check functionality. If touch panel controller is broken, we need a jeweler screwdriver set and ideally a set of Torx driver. Clear the work area. We are going to be dealing with tiny screws that you should arrange in order as you remove them. To begin, remove cover, battery, SIM and SD card, removing Torx screw from the base around the battery cover. Some devices need their entire backs removing with the pry tool. These are tricky to use, but start at a corner and try and work the pry tool under the edge. Remove two more size Torx screws that are revealed. Any visible connection can also be unclipped. We are now free to part the display and the motherboard, as with many mobile phones are glued together. Using the pry tool carefully and slowly start to separate. The glue will give you just need to take care of time and work around the edges. Carefully open the phone and disconnect the final two connecting elements, leaving you with the display section and the motherboard section. Hair dryer too much heat will damage the display, so point it away from the center and just at the edge of the display. Use the pry tool to test how sticky the adhesive is and repeat until it starts coming away. Move on to the next small section and repeat. Eventually, you will lift the entire digitizer out. Remove any protective film on either side, feed the new digitizer ribbon through the lower hole and carefully from the base, pushing it down to make sure the adhesive tool holds well. Feed the ribbon along the back side of the display and reverse this process to carefully rebuild your phone. Then press the power button. If all has gone well, your phone and the display will be sensing your torch again. The most popular method to drive small vibration motor is to use a cheap enhancement type MOSFET. They are efficient, robust, and the high side configuration can work well down to 1.5 volt supply voltage. We use the MOSFET as a transistor switch, that is saturation region. High side, that is a P channel MOSFET, is used and the drive signal is active low, and low side, that is a N channel MOSFET, is used and the drive signal is active high. Thank you.